to the notification gang. Tomorrow I'm going to get into giving the credit to commenters, and we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program, as they say. But real quick, there was a lot I was thinking about, and I said I got to talk about this today. It's the ideology of manipulation and how that can be used as a guardian, or let's say a figure that a child would look up to. Not necessarily someone who they respect, but it's when you're in the position when someone's looking up to you, and it's an intelligent move that's very well known to be used in situations that involve authority. It's actually a very simple yet complicated process that you're able to delve into the mind of other individuals by using the type of things that they want to hear / what they want to know. So in this situation, manipulation, as referred to and thought of as tentacion, whether this was friends, whether it was, let's say, parental figures in any way, it actually would have been very simple. Even if we got money, presuming he had a mental issue occur from what he was going through in his life. So these things are very simple, and it would have been as easy as broken promises. So in a sense, we know that there's promises that we make to people. We know at times there's certain things that are offered to encourage others, and there's certain things that are continually given in a sense. Look, if I'm young and I'm in a position where I'm searching for someone's attention, as easy as broken promises can be used is that someone's like, oh, I'll come to get you, I'll come to get you. You know, and most commonly we see this with fathers that aren't around and single mothers that are doing things. That's why I kind of mentioned in the other video today, where was the father figure. This is a very common thing used by father figures, where they'll stand over their child and tell them they're coming. Oh, I'll be there, we'll go here, we'll do this. And when you do that, you kind of leash the child along, and it keeps your image alive, because what they do is they believe you're going to be and do something that you never end up doing in the end. And not saying that this guardian always knows that they're not going to be able to do it, but you get a sense for character when you interact with certain people for a certain amount of time, so you know when they're truly doing to do something, or if they truly feel some way. But in this manner of being, it is very possible that this could have been played with him when he was a child. Now, this would not only build up rage, but mentally cause him to, in a sense, possibly create a split personality. Now, this is a very easy thing to occur when you're doing the broken promise method of stringing someone along to keep them, let's say, interested in what it is you have to offer. It's as simple as me telling him, we'll go to Dorney Park, Hershey Park, we'll go to Six Flags, we'll do this. And they're anticipating it. Now, what people don't understand, when you tell a child this, if you tell them 4 months from now we're going there, they'll remember that, because you're such a prominent figure to them. They fully are invested in believing what you're saying. This could have easily been played with in many different fashions to lead him along and string him along, as if he was actually going to be involved in these guardianships and the leadership that was offered to him. So when you play with these things, most commonly, and you could go check it from a psychological point of view in psychology, the child, or let's say whatever younger age individual, not even child age, even teenager, preteen, they'll create a split personality, in a sense that this will in turn allow them to develop another self of them that may get past it, but on the outside they're really hurting. You know what I mean? So on the inside, they'll play it up to a fictitious existence in which they're in control of the situation. Now, this is a very common way, and many different individuals handle it differently. And I don't know whether it's cultural based or if it's genetic based, but the most commonly, you create a split personality. Now, even though we've seen this boy that's ready to fight back and go to war with everyone, that is ready to fight for the attention of his parental figure, ready to stand out here, and even leading into him making his millions, there was still that inner person that was hurt. And the hurt you do to someone growing up, it can't be fixed later on, no matter how much you do. It can only be softened. So it's still a blow regardless, but it's only softened as time goes on. You can't fix the mistakes you made in the past when it comes to another individual that you harmed. These things, they can only be softened because what's done is done. We know this. So if I lack leadership in the past, I can try and make up for it in the present, to begin a new you, but the old you is still there. That's most times why people get a psychiatrist or something and talk it out, because in the beginning of their life, they had no one to really talk truly about their pain with, especially when the person they wanted to talk about their pain with never gave them a chance to express it. Now, this is very important because when you listen to the music, and again, I sat back and listened to music, it dawned on me. It's like it's very apparent. Like, I'm listening to these different songs, he's using different titles, but all of the different titles link back to the same ideology, the pain that he dealt with. It was never someone he could go to express it. Never someone he could sit down and talk to. It was him going through situation after situation, pain after pain, and then ultimately, subtly looking for the attention. Now, it doesn't matter what attention he received, because it wasn't from the person he wanted the attention from. You get what I'm saying? If the person I want the attention from is a parental figure, but I end up getting it elsewhere, it's still not my parental figure's attention. So I still lost out on that, let's say, important factor that would have helped me to produce a feeling in that hole I had. So there's many different aspects and perspectives that are starting to dawn on me and come out as I listen to more music, and I think intricately about what situation he ended up in, even his behavioral issues of getting locked up, ending up in the penitentiary in some way, shape, or fashion. It all is beginning to make sense. And his music as well. So this was a young man that ended up being in and out of trouble, in and out of penitentiary, involved in alleged domestic disputes. And it all leads down to his distaste for women. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, he was actually part of a team. So he had that male guardianship or that male affiliate that he was able to talk back and forth or go on tour with or hang out with. But everything missing is, let's say, the nominal relationship with the females of his life. And this is just becoming more and more apparent as I listen to the music. So as I'm beginning to look at this, was he manipulated by broken promises? Even if you were to have millions and millions of dollars, all you really would want is someone's presence that you never got to have as a youngin' when you would want something done. So it almost seemed like he was willing to sacrifice himself to have this type of relationship, no matter what the cost. If we look at it very, very intuitively, not that he wanted it. He didn't know what it was worth because he never had it. Do you get how serious it gets? Like, that's how deep it is. It was something, him getting a taste of something he never knew, which was a strong relationship with a maternal figure that he always longed for. So ultimately, he never knew what the feeling truly was because he never had it. These things sit heavy because as I sit here and I kind of scope it out, it almost makes perfect sense. Your relationship would not be good with women because you never had the one woman you wanted in your life the most. You would be paying and sad and ready to take it all over a chick you never, got to know more than 10 years or never even married because you didn't know what it was like to have the most important woman in your life to care about you how you truly desired her to. So these other women's caring would not mean anything really. They just be filling a void that they didn't have the existence on earth to fill. It really does make perfect sense. It really does sit that way. And I pray they made better while he was still able to do so. But the lack of attention, re-listening to his interview, everything's beginning to hit gold with me. It's beginning to sink in like he would say that. Like that would be the answer he'd give. Because of the instances and the different tumultuous situations he had going through his life and the norm, the daily thing. All these things, they resonate with me, and I get it. So again, go back and check out the other videos where I'm talking about the man versus male theory and basically how most males aren't men. That is completely factual. There is a certain string of events, certain guidance you need to become a man. It's not that simple. You can't just become a man because you are a man. There's a mentality you take. And sadly, most males will not make it there. It's only because the factors of growth and the leadership and the guardianship, if it's weak, that is going to make a weak male. And it's, again, nothing about finances. It's nothing about that. It's the lack of guardianship and leadership. That is most commonly the issue. And a weak male that becomes a man but never really stands as a man is going to just make another weak male who can't really stand as a man. And these things, though they are not synonymous with Tentacion, because I feel his issues stem from relative issues to mothers. But at the same time, I feel he used that to create masterpiece in his art. And that is what is special about him. He used his pain to create masterpiece. And most people can't do that. So even in his passing, we have a lot to learn and look at. If you're a mother, make sure you're there for your son in some way, shape, or fashion. Broken promises destroy kids, whether they're male or female. Stay away from them. You owe that attention. You know how I rock. All rights reserved.